Oh, you picked it up?
All right, will the clerk please read the preamble?
Oh, it's my,
In accordance with the applicable statutes of the state of Illinois and the ordinances of the city of Prospect Heights, notice is hereby given that the city council meeting of the mayor and the city council of the city of Prospect Heights is being held on Monday, October 9th, 2023 at 6:30 PM. In person at the council chambers, Prospect Heights City Hall, 8 North Elmhurst Road, Prospect Heights, Illinois. Mayor Patrick Ludvigson presiding. This meeting will be broadcast live on cable channels Comcast and Astound RCN Channel 17 and AT&T U-verse Channel 99. It will also be recorded and televised on Comcast and Astound RCN Channel 17 and AT&T U-verse Channel 99. Attendees who wish to speak on agenda or non-agenda items will be provided an opportunity during the meeting. There is a 5-minute time limit for speakers.
Thank you. We'll call the meeting to order at 6:34. Roll call, please.
Alderman Morgan Adams.
I'm here.
Alderman Cameron.
Here.
Alderman Dolick.
Here.
Alderman Dash.
Here.
Alderman Anderson.
Here.
Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance. Thank you. Item 3, approval of the September 27th City Council regular meeting minutes. I need a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and second. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Alderman Anderson.
Aye.
Alderman Dash.
Aye.
Alderman Dolick.
Aye.
Alderman Cameron.
Aye.
Alderman Morgan Adams.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. Item 4, we have no presentations. Item 5, we have no appointments, confirmations, or proclamations. Doesn't appear that anybody is here to comment on agenda matters.
No, thank you.
Item 7 is the consent agenda, which we do not have any items tonight. Item 8, no old business. Item 9, new business. A, ordinance 02325, staff memo and ordinance granting variations to reduce lot width and required side yard setbacks for a new single-family residence on a legal non-conforming lot, 1418 Olive Street. This is the first reading, so it's just informational only and discussion. Dan, is there anything you want to add to this?
Yes, real quickly. This lot was one of a larger lot, Lot 15 in C.H. Anderson's, C.H. Taylor's second Arlington Heights subdivision. And as such, when it was parceled off the other lots, they had one 90-foot wide lot. So this is the only lot on the block that's 90 foot wide, which does not meet our current standards of 100 feet. So the first variation is to make it a recorded legal lot of record of 90 feet wide, not the 100. And then the second ask on that is the next diagram, which is the proposed new single-family house on the vacant lot to be 70 feet wide with two 10-foot side yard setbacks on each side versus the 15. The Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals unanimously approved it, 5 votes to none.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Again, this is informational only. The second reading will be at the next regular council meeting. Correct? Is there a date? What's the date on that?
23rd, October.
October 23rd, Monday. Thank you.
Mayor,
Yep.
one last thing. As you will be seeing this back as a subdivision note, because we will be creating a single lot of subdivision because this lot was plotted before 2008. So therefore, it will come back, but that doesn't change the variations.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Item B, R2328, a staff memo and resolution authorizing approval of a revised intergovernmental agreement with the MWRD and Cook County regarding the Willow Road Flood Control Project. We have a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'm going to let Joe just explain why we're doing this, and then if there's any comments or questions, we could do that after.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. About a year ago, we authorized an earlier intergovernmental agreement for, this is the Willow Road Flood Control Project, where we raise Willow Road approximately 2 to 4 feet. And that's, as you know, when we've had significant rainfall, Willow Road frequently closes and remains so until it drains. About a year ago, we did an initial authorization of an agreement resolution, and that was to show MWRD and Cook County a seriousness of intent. But there were certain things in that agreement that were left open. Significantly, one was how we would identify and provide for the compensatory storage. There are also some updates of MWRD has updated some of their policies as far as contractors and things like that. So it's essentially an updated agreement from last year, which they're requiring because there were a few changes that they want to incorporate. But it takes us back to last year's approval of the project. Assuming everything goes right, and we're very far along as far as the drawings and permitting and so forth, we would anticipate going out to bid this winter with the spring construction start.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? So we have a first and a second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Cameron.
Aye.
Alderman Desch.
Aye.
Alderman Anderson.
Aye.
Alderman Dolick.
Aye.
Alderman Morgan Adams.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. Item 10, staff, elected officials, and commission reports. Let's start with elected officials to my left. Anybody have any reports they want to give? Oh, Rich, you're on my left. I see you coming in. Come on in.
I just have a couple of things to make note of. First thing is that as we started the meeting tonight, we were delayed for whatever reason, and one of the issues is that when we broadcast this meeting live on our cable channels, and so when we try to stay on time, basically it started at 6:30. But when we're late, we have to make a decision as to whether we switch over to live or we wait and delay it even further, and we don't know exactly when the council is actually going to be ready to start. So it's just a matter of coordination for that reason alone. It's not like me trying to play Army with the council as far as starting exactly on the dot of 6:30. But just the fact that we're doing a couple things at once. We're recording the meeting and we're broadcasting it live on the cable channels. We just want to make sure that we're not broadcasting when it's not a coordinated
Hot mics.
show, if you want to call it that, of some sort. So that's one thing. The other thing is that, I've been working at this for a long time, and running a cable channel like ours is what is called a PEG channel. We're a government channel amongst 3 public education and government channels. That's what PEG stands for. It's not like a regular television station, because television stations generally run half-hour, hour, 2-hour segments, and it's pretty regular as far as their programming. Not to mention that they've got people there to actually run it. In our case, we don't have the personnel available to run our cable channel 24/7, 365. So we have to depend on automation. And of course, as they keep talking about lately, AI gets into it from the standpoint that it's gotten involved in creating software to actually attempt to take the place of human beings to program videos that are not exactly regular in length. Like this council meeting, for example, is going to be a lot shorter than 2 hours. We generally we'll generally budget, let's say, 2 hours for a council meeting, because sometimes they can run that long. But Sometimes they're only an hour, sometimes they're a half an hour, you never know. And so in between all that, some either person or an intelligent computer has to figure out what's going to go in between the 2-hour budgeted time slot and the next show that's actually programmed. But Patrick, and mostly Patrick, I'll give credit to Patrick. He's been dealing with this software for quite some time. Not to mention the fact that the software that we acquired was a little bit buggy in the beginning, and of course that throws things off as well. So we're testing and testing and testing and testing and trying to make sure that this is going to run fine. And we've gotten to a point where we are pretty dependent that, or we're pretty confident that this thing is going to be something that we can depend on. And we've been using it now for quite some time. So now we're actually ready to publish a program schedule, which I have in my hand here. This is what it looks like. And it's not perfect, but it does give you a pretty good idea of what's supposed to run when. And the software sticks pretty much to this guide. Now, it can be changed either weekly, daily, monthly, whatever it takes to keep it up to date. And so that's one of the other issues, is that you can't just print this thing off and put it on your refrigerator and say, okay, this is the schedule for the next 2 months or whatever. You have to realize that it's going to change. And so we do, Patrick uploads an updated version of it every time to our web page on the city website. So when it does change, you can get a fresh copy or an updated copy of it that way. But that's just one of the hiccups of trying to handle these irregular videos that we record. And of course, there's a lot of other things that we do that winds up being odd times. It could be 12 minutes, it could be 23 minutes, you never know what we're trying to fit in to all these. Also, the good part of the software, the main thing that's I think really helpful, is that it's smart enough to know that let's say that a program ends with 12 minutes left before the next regularly scheduled program going to come up. It's got a basket of videos it can go look at and figure out which ones that it can pick to fill in the gap and actually fill that 12 minutes in. And then, obviously, when it's done doing that, the next regularly scheduled show is then picked to run. So it can be run fairly automatically. I mean, our goal is to no one should be sitting around worrying about what has to be switched when in order to get it to not have dead air, because you don't want that. So I'm just letting you know what we've been up against and what we had to deal with in order to get to this point. Still not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was when we first started. So just wanted to let you know that it's available if you'd like to download it and look at the cable channel and see how well it does.
How come you can't get it in like the little guide part, for I could just see what's coming up on the...
You want it electronic?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't, I guess that would be possible, I
I'm just
suppose,
kidding,
but,
Rich.
we could look into it anyway. Anyway, I just wanted to also make sure that this meeting wasn't going to be the shortest meeting on record.
Feel bad.
Good job on that one.
Thanks, Rich.
Thanks so much.
Could I ask one question of Rich before you leave? Tonight is a good example. If you're running it live and we're, say, 5 minutes late, are the microphones live?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
Okay. The reason
Unless
I'm...
you turn them off, you all can,
And we often do that, but for instance, the mayor's mic is always on.
that's right.
But sometimes we have a question about the meeting, maybe for the mayor, the city attorney. We need to take those privately outside the room, just to make sure that we're not speaking.
Yeah,
outside.
well, that's right. That's the reason we don't really want it to be live at 6:32 if the meeting isn't really ready to start. We'd like it to be, we have a panel we can put up and to say that, the meeting is delayed, or we can say, but we
That's
don't know
okay.
exactly
I just
how
want to
long
make
it is.
sure what the situation is so that we can be careful what we do. So
Right, it would be important for you to not to be talking into live mics anytime
of course.
when you're at, up at the dais, so,
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
Anybody else on the left, staff-wise? On the right? Any staff, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, staff, elected, I'm sorry. Elected on the right. Go back to the left, staff. Anybody with a report? To the right? Go ahead, Bob.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council members. I would just like to talk about our pursuing those residents that have not purchased their 23-24 vehicle sticker. We have started that process with administration. Just to let everybody know, the ordinance states that each owner of a motor vehicle registered with the Secretary of State of Illinois to an address or P.O. box within the jurisdiction of City of Prospect Heights has to obtain a license, a vehicle license, and also pay the annual license fee. Even those vehicles that may have their situs or base in the City of Prospect Heights, they also must buy a city vehicle sticker. The city uses the most current Illinois Secretary of State database information of registered plates within the City of Prospect Heights for vehicles, motorcycles, RV, antiques, vehicles, and trucks. These are compared to our internal database of purchase stickers. And then those that do not match, we send letters out to those registered owners saying, you have a vehicle that's registered to the City of Prospect Heights and you have not purchased your current vehicle sticker. We also put in that letter we also put in the letter asking the registered owner to contact the city to say, why haven't you purchased your vehicle sticker? What are your reasons? And they could be reasons, maybe the car was sold prior to March 31st of 2023, they moved from the city, or even another reason. But that letter is asking for them to contact the city before we take an action to cite them for not having that sticker. And the city really doesn't know when a vehicle has been sold, when a resident has moved out, or when a resident purchases a new vehicle. Sometime a resident may purchase a new vehicle and they had a sticker bought for their old vehicle, and they don't know that they need to contact the city regarding changing that sticker to the new vehicle or even to a new plate. If they get a vanity plate or they get a new license plate, they have to contact the city on that. And that information is in the Secretary of State database, and that's what we rely on when we send the letters out stating that you have not purchased a vehicle sticker. So there could be some discrepancies with them not contacting us and us not having it in the database to get a proper match. So the letters that are being sent are an informative letter right now that we're sending out. We just sent some letters out this week, and over the next couple of weeks, we'll be sending letters to those residents. We have approximately close to 3,000 letters that will be going out. And again, this is because we're relying on the Secretary of State database that shows that you have a plate registered to the City of Prospect Heights. And again, we compare that to what was purchased for this year for vehicle stickers. And if a resident doesn't respond in the time that we put in the letter, we're giving 15 days from the date of the letter to respond to clear up the situation. There will be a next letter that will be a citation for $200 for no valid city sticker purchase. So we encourage all the residents to please, when they get the letter, to contact the city and talk to us and resolve any discrepancies that we may have in our system or what they may have with their vehicle. And again, just to let the residents know that the city relies on this revenue to provide the necessary services such as snow removal, police services, street repair, and other services that keep the city running. So it's important that the city receives this revenue so we can keep the city running, type of thing. And again, any questions, concerns, or anything like that, please contact the city and let us know, and we'll work with you to resolve any of those matters. So that's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Peter?
If I could just piggyback on that, I just want to give kudos to the finance department. They mentioned, Bob mentioned that they sent out 3,000 letters this year. Last year, we sent out 5,000. So what they did this year, and Sherry did, I think, the most of the work, the Yeoman part of the work or the job, was go through it and meticulously take out the ones that we know for a fact are either duplicates or there's something wrong. So they went through and they carved out 40% of what we had last year. So each year, we learn something new. Each year, we're getting better and better. But having thousands of possible vehicles out there that aren't registered with the city is a major revenue loss for us, and we rely on that money so desperately. And we try to convey that when the residents come in. The residents aren't happy, but Jen and Eileen up front do a fantastic job of explaining that to them. And while we've had some people that aren't too happy about it, most of the residents understand. And I just want to appreciate the extra work the finance did, because that 40% less is going to definitely help out Jen and Eileen up at the front desk.
Thank you. Any other staff? Okay. We'll move on to the approval of warrants.
I'm sorry, I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
I had a question. Now, when you send out the statements for the city stickers, do you put anything on there that says, if you sold a vehicle, please notify the city? Maybe, I don't remember if it says it in there, but just, for, kind of like information for people, if they see that, hey, if you sold the car, you transferred a car, please contact the city, in the.
Yes, in the letter, we put in there that if you had sold the vehicle or moved out of the city, please contact us to let us know that, so we can put it in our database.
Okay.
That it's not there. What happens, last year when we sent those letters out, a lot of people came in, hey, I sold that car, I don't have the plates anymore on that car. They need to contact the Secretary of State to let them know to take those plates out or cancel those plates in the system, because the Secretary of State will hold those plates in there, even if they're expired, and they'll still show that they're registered to the city of Prospect Heights unless they contact them and say, no, that plate's no good anymore, please take it out of the system. And we wouldn't know that as a city if they sold it or the plates got destroyed. That's on the person who owns those plates or that vehicle, that type of thing. Same thing with moving out of the Prospect Heights. We don't know when someone moves out of Prospect Heights until we get a call for maybe a sewer changeover or a water changeover. That's when we find out, or we find out when we're doing the city sticker campaign that they moved. So, yeah, that's in the letter to contact us and let us know that the car's been sold. And they got to show proof, because they could have sold the car maybe June of this year and then buy a sticker, or they're selling it, so they got to contact us. And it's in there. There's a statement in there or a paragraph in there regarding that information.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Item 11, approval of warrants.
For the expenditures total, we had $189,731.52. We had a wire payment on September 22nd, 2023, a payroll wire payment of $187,668.47, bringing our total warrant to $377,399.99. For council's approval, please.
We need a motion to approve.
So moved. Morgan Adams? Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Dolick?
Aye.
Alderman Dash?
Aye.
Alderman Morgan Adams?
Aye.
Alderman Cameron?
Aye.
Alderman Dash?
Aye again.
Oh,
Anderson.
Anderson, I'm sorry.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes.
Oopsie.
Item 12, comment on non-agenda matters. I know somebody came in the room since we started. Nope. So we have nobody with comment on non-agenda matters. We have no executive session tonight, and no action on that. So I need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn?
A second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We
Good
are
job.
adjourned. Thank you.